just realised I haven't had enough. I was wondering what's going on there. Jeez, I had a late night, people. Okay, I had a late night. I just realised there's no one here. Anyway, welcome to the Armory. Welcome to Full Time Sports Network. Welcome to Arsenal Porto match reaction. Big up to Damos. How are you doing, Damos?
I'm not too bad, man. Heart's racing a little bit from yesterday, but I'm a bit better today, so it's all good.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy the late night, if I'm honest. Big up to Luke that's already in the house. If you do hear a vibration, I'm having to upgrade my son on his game, so I'm having to do his game whilst he's at school at the moment. So if you hear a vibration, it's literally just because the controller's going mental. Yeah, the things you have to do for your son whilst you've got a few
just to
spare
stop you
moments.
there, and let me turn the screen. I'm actually doing the same.
Oh, yeah, no way.
On my son's machine, yeah. I've got my work stuff and I'm sorting out my son's laptop. So
yeah, I'm having to play Pet Simulator X. No, Pet Simulator 99 for my son because there's a big upgrade coming Saturday, and he wants to get to rank 20 by Saturday. So I'm having to do that whilst I can. Oh, look! Oh, you know what? This calls for a special video, and I have to do it because I'm so excited as well.
I would say that, be excited.
Canners is here!
Yes.
How are we? Oh my
Hello,
gosh.
mate.
I'm a little worse for wear, a little tired.
Not surprised, man. How was it at the end?
Oh, it's probably the loudest it's ever been. It was great. It was amazing. It was so tense though. You could literally, you could cut the atmosphere with a knife kind of thing. Everyone round was just kind of like, every time Porto would go forward, it's like, oh no, don't let them score, don't let it was just so, it was such a different kind of feeling being there yesterday with the game on a knife edge and winning it on penalties. It was, I don't want that again. Not from my heart. I'm getting old.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was Porto are good, man. Defensively, they're a brilliant team. And to get the goal that we did, and the way that we did, it was Odegaard's pass was just amazing. And then Trossard did the rest. But yeah, it was a great evening. Brilliant.
I'm glad, mate. I'm glad. I'm still buzzing, says Luke. Big up to Geeks. Doing well, my friend. So that's what Josh predicted Canners being. I had to do it. I haven't seen him for such a long time.
I know.
I was excited to see him just backstage.
There's been lots going on behind the scenes and stuff. So things are kind of like now just coming to a point where, yeah, we're scared.
Right. So the game itself. Now, I'm still negative about it because the performance-wise, I wasn't impressed with Arsenal at all. I've said throughout all the previews, all the reviews I've done about Porto, they're a good team. Don't knock them, and definitely don't compare them to Burnley, because that for me is the most disrespectful thing you can do.
Who did that?
Someone from a certain Arsenal channel who remain nameless, but he's a plonker. But yeah, he is. This is because a lot of Arsenal fans watch this channel because there's a lot of subscribers and Arsenal fans believe it because what they think they hear, they believe. And I'm like, I'm sorry, this is Porto.
Their shape was magnificent. Seriously, we had to work hard to shift them out of their shape. Every time.
Well, I said to Damus before we went on air, I reviewed the Barcelona game that they did in the league stages. They nearly dominated Barcelona at the Nou Camp, which, I'll be honest, is not that easy to do. Yeah. Barcelona is still a good team. They've still got very good quality players. To be able to do that with Porto tells you everything about me.
Absolutely.
About Porto. But still, I wasn't that happy with our players' performance last night. I think some of them were a bit off, in my opinion. I know a lot of people are giving them 9s and 10s. That's fine. But I'm more looking at that was our European performances are starting to concern me a little bit.
I know what you're saying. However, I don't think we've played a team that set up like that ever with that organization, and to keep it for literally what we're talking about 2 games, basically 2.5 games. They were so organized. It was ridiculous. He had them so well drilled, and when you've got someone like Pepe at the back, his legs should have gone. But
41 years old.
Yeah, to play 120 minutes in that intensity, I just tip my hat to him, man, because and he was talking to all his players, making sure whenever they weren't in their shape, berating them, etc., etc. I was just watching him actually, and I just thought, do you know what? No wonder he spent so long at Real Madrid. Because when you kind of watch TV, you don't really get it, do you? And we're thinking, well, why is that player so good? And fair enough, I saw him when he's 41, but bloody hell, he'll get into probably all top 6 sides still in the Premiership.
All I would say about him is that player that went off injured. I don't know if you were in the actual stadium itself, so you wouldn't have seen it. But basically, the guy went on the stretcher, and then Pepe come over, slapped him on the bad part that was hurting. See you later. I'm like, what are you doing? Checking he's injured or something? What the heck's that about? He's your own player.
You think at that point in time, he's probably thinking that he was feigning it as everyone else in the bloody stadium did. I mean, talk about dark arts as well.
Oh, yeah. Well, I said this on the preview. I said, watch out for the dark arts because they are going to be full.
Can I ask him a question quickly?
Yes,
what I was saying to you before when we started, I noticed that when Arsenal are bringing the ball out from the back, normally we're quite comfortable doing it and we carry the ball up the pitch quite easily. But whereas yesterday, I felt that Porto was closing us down, chasing us, pressing from the front, which meant that we had to then find other ways to bring the ball forward. Now, although we're not doing it the way we normally do it, I felt that give credit to Porto for doing what they were doing. And I still think give credit to our players for finding another way to bring the ball up the field.
Absolutely. I know
the way we want, but what did you think seeing it? Like, what did you notice?
They was so good. I was actually there was a couple of points where they actually got it, where they got 2-on-1 on Saliba when he got the ball. It was only because Saliba was so good. He actually got out of it, managed to kind of drop his shoulder and get out of it. But they were so good with their press, and they were so clever the way they've obviously worked in it. My only thing is that I wonder if other teams, I mean, we haven't really, in the Premiership, we haven't really got that many running against bottom side teams, but I'm pretty sure would have looked back at that video and said, okay, do you know what? This is a blueprint of how we play against Arsenal when they try and bring the ball out, because we had to work our nuts off really to get the ball out. Our players found a way, so you have to applaud them for that. But Porto were very good in what they did. They never made it easy once.
Fair enough. Luke saying Porto are very well organised. Shame that the manager is a clown. Sergio is definitely a character. Porto are good enough to make us win ugly. We got the result. We're still in it. All is good. Oh, I'm happy that we're through. I just like to look. This is the way that my brain works. I do apologise, but I don't just give great scores just because we got through. I look at the smaller details, and that's how I always will be. Performance-wise, like in an international tournament, by hook or by
I agree with that.
As long as we are still in it, next round, if we get Raya, Barca, or Bayern, they will employ a low block. May suit us. Yeah.
I think, do you know what? Perversely enough, and all right, don't throw me pelters, but I think that will probably be our hardest game.
Possibly.
The only team I actually fear, and I did say this to Damus before we went on, is Real Madrid. It's the only team that actually fear me.
Real Madrid and Man City. They're the two.
I'm not that worried about Man City, if I'm honest.
Okay.
Over 2
I'm
legs.
not, because I'll be honest, from what we've seen over the season, I think that we can do them.
Yeah. The only other two teams, maybe PSV and Dortmund, might employ those same kind of, then Atletico Madrid. But yeah.
Atletico, yeah. True.
I don't think anyone else would be as oh God, Simeone, I forgot about him. So I hope we don't get it. Yeah,
that's a good point. Yeah. I'm not saying their team's better because their team isn't, but it's Simeone's tactics.
Simeone's tactics, the way he would look at what Porto did and pretty much do the same kind of stuff.
And I'll be honest, that Atletico have probably got slightly better players than Porto as well.
To hurt
only slightly. But yeah. Yeah, we play a lot of low blocks, but Porto, like I said in the first leg, are the best we've played. How we won last night was the best we could have hoped for. If you look at the first leg, we actually had less possession last night than we did in the first leg. And I was saying this to Damos, we actually, for me, we played better away than we did at home, which is a little bit worrying for me because I've always believed that you should play better at home than away. Porto was the best, was the game we need for pressure, press, and tactics to press for City. Geeks is agreement with Canners. PSV, Atleti, Dortmund. I do not want. I don't want Dortmund due to the fact they're my German team. I hope we avoid Bayern as the Kane narrative will ruin my mental health. Oh, just imagine it. Oh, Christ!
Do you know what? If Kane played us and he beat us and he didn't get any trophy, for him that's a good season.
That's his trophy. That would be
that's his trophy, man.
Yeah, well, his special trophy's a cannon, isn't it, for when he gets top scorer in Bundesliga? So it is what it is for him, isn't it? Bless him.
That's how ironic, eh?
It's funny though, isn't it? I do love it. I do love the world sometimes. Right. Anyway, so obviously we won 1-0. Trossard, Canners has literally just gone through the goal, so I can move on from that. To be honest,
sorry.
Yeah, everything okay?
I think so.
Oh no, you've frozen, mate. Actually.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can see your beautiful face, but it's just not moving, mate.
All right.
That's all. Right, possession-wise, 58 for Arsenal, 42 for FC Porto, 13 shots for Arsenal, 10 for Porto, 4 shots on target, 3 for Porto, 9 corners, corner FC we are called, and 1 for Porto. Passing accuracy, you know how harsh I am, and I will always be harsh when I have to be. 82% is why I was saying that I don't think we did very well last night. It should always be 85 and above. Always. It's 82. I think it was 82 possibly against Brentford as well. But yeah, it's not good enough. But to be fair, Porto's wasn't much greater. XG, because everyone loves it. I know you do. I can see your excitement now. 0.95 for Arsenal and 0.55 for Porto. Right, Canners and Damos. I don't think either of you gave me your teams. I don't know. No. Canners is gone. No.
Shall I tell you why I haven't been giving you a team for a few months? Because Arsenal have been doing really good. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to not give you my team, and we've been continuing to do well.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I'm not going to give you my team for the rest of the season. So
fair enough, mate. Yeah, fair enough. My dad used to walk through horse manure every time he went to the Arsenal game. So, yeah, I get it. There's some strange things that people do, and they continuously do it. Dad always did it. He'd literally have to walk around the other side of the stadium sometimes.
Yeah, where the horses are.
Just to go and do it. I said, Dad, what are you doing? I want a burger. I want to walk in some horse muck. Brilliant. Cheers, Dad. Anyway, so the team was Raya, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Kivior, Jorginho, Rice, Odegaard, Saka, Trossard, and Havertz. No major surprises. I know that Arsenal teased Zinchenko earlier in the day. I think they were just playing with you, to be fair. That's what Arsenal like to do. But I don't think anyone was shocked by this starting lineup.
No.
Were you, Damos?
No, I mean, I thought you may have got one or two different, but it's exactly the same squad we had last week. So, yeah, no surprises.
No surprises. It is what it is. I know you've got a shoot in about 15 minutes, so I'll try and get through the ratings as well. I'll just quickly go through these couple of comments. I'd rather a team that plays football, and I don't want Inter for the safety of our travelling fans. That Odegaard pass was sublime. Yeah, totally get that. It was beautiful. He had a decent game. But when I always look, this is just my brain. I'm ex-army, so this is just how I work and how my brain works. When you're the captain, for me, if there's some players that aren't performing, it's the captain's job to get them to perform. Shout at them, have a word with them. That's just how I look at it. So for me, Odegaard needs to be better with that. I feel that he's like a little bit worried because, like for me, Saka last night was one of his worst performances for me. The season. I was not impressed with him last night. I do think he's got a little bit of a knock, if I'm honest.
Just one nail on Saka's defense. Again, I think that everyone didn't do what they were meant to do because of Porto. So although I agree with you, they didn't have great games. It wasn't. I don't think they played bad. I just thought they didn't have a great game because of what they can normally do. But there were times where Saka and whoever he was with was trying to find their way through, and it wasn't easy.
No, I get that, but it's just my mentality, mate. I'm ex-army. I'm trained slightly different to some people in the world, and yeah, I like perfection. And for me, look, Wendell is a very good left back. I rated him. He was in my 5 to watch on the preview. And Saka just, for me, was just not there. I know he's been struggling, so maybe he's just not 100% fit. And to be fair, we've got no one else to come in for him yet.
I heard Martinelli's still. I mean, he doesn't play on Saka's side, but I heard he's still a bit injured.
Yeah, he should be back for the City game, though. We've got, 2.5 weeks now. We should be fine. Yeah, we should be fine with Martinelli, if I'm honest. I watched Saka lead the pitch after Brentford and said to my son, Ollie, that I thought he looked like he was not moving freely. Yeah, for me, I don't think he's 100% fit, and that's my only protection of Saka. I think he's not 100% fit. And to be fair, we've got no one else to go out there. Nelson, for me, is a drop down in quality. And look, Saka had some good, decent runs into the penalty area, but he just wasn't himself last night, in my opinion. But look, like I said, we won, we're through. I'm happy about that, and we've got 2.5 weeks to sort out these little things. Jesus is a shot. Oh, hang on, there we go. It's a family reunion now.
Yeah,
Brenny. Hello.
Hey, how you all doing? You all right?
There we go. Oh, we got feedback on yours, Brenny.
No, it's okay. It's off now.
Okay, sorry. Cool. That's all right. But no, Geeks were saying maybe put Jesus on the right. What are you both thinking about that? Give Saka a bit of a rest.
I agree, but no, actually, you know what? No, because I know he's got. I hope he doesn't go to England. On England duty.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's not 100% fit, I'll just on caught on what the two you said. Oh, all right. Canada's laptop just died.
Yeah. No, should join us.
All right. Yeah. So I don't think he should go personally, and I know he'll get selected. And Gareth Southgate always seems to want to play Saka at the business end of the season, and always like you're watching a friendly, because I think it was like that last year, wasn't it, where you thought, just take him off. And there were times where he always tends to play him for 90 minutes. He does that a lot, and I'm just hoping we don't see him. Yeah, there were some flashes of Saka yesterday. He wasn't at his best, but I didn't think he was poor.
I'm not
I didn't think he was. Yeah.
I'm not going to give, because I think I've seen people give him 4s and stuff like that. I don't think he's a 4.
I'm watching highlights. Saka had a shot on goal. He laid it off to White. He even Jesus' chance. Like, Saka was involved in a lot of things.
Yeah, for me, look, I'm giving him a 7 in my head. Obviously, it's not my score.
Yeah,
it's your guys, but
that's what I'd be giving him that as well.
I would want from a knockout stage in Champions League. I want 8s and 9s constantly for all players, and I'm just not getting it. And that's the kind of standard I want. And I get it. Sometimes you're just not going to get that. And I wasn't happy last night. I wanted to be fair, I wanted to go to bed early as well last night. I was like, this is just not what I needed. I'm going to blame Luke.
I was frustrated. I
think, was it Luke that said it on the preview about going to penalties? So I'm going to blame Luke.
Yeah.
It's all Luke's fault. That's how it works. Big up to Chris saying, "Morning lads, hope you're well." There should be questions asked. Exactly. That's how I look at it, Chris. I'm not just going to ride the wave of enjoyment. I've got questions to ask. I'm not that happy. Southgate will play it well. Of course, he will. He's a plonker.
So exactly.
I'll get in trouble for that later, I'm sure. Just finished recording my Carlisle keep loan release and sack very long one. All right, please do subscribe and watch Chris. He's very, very passionate about Liverpool, Carlisle, F1. So please do subscribe. He's always in our chat as well. So please do give him a follow. For other games, ESR, Trossard on the left and Jesus on the right could be an option if we need negotiate the potentially remaining 15 games. Geeks is getting excited there with the 15 games.
Yeah.
That's what's.
Yeah, look, it's definitely 12 games at the moment. Yeah, we'll wait. It's an option. We've said it quite a few times, haven't we, Brent, about Jesus going out on the wing. I think it suits him. I think it suits
it does.
him better.
I mean, he's played it many times for City.
Yeah. Oh, jeez, here we go. Big up to Munzie. One on penalties. That's very poor for you lot. I'm not happy. I'm not happy, but I'm happy we're through.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Where are you again? Who have you got in the next round, Muns? Just remind me. Just remind me. No one. Okay, cool. Excellent stuff. Thank you, Muns. Love you. Big up, Buzzer and the lads. Oh, sorry, I had to do it. Right, so let's get on to ratings. Hopefully, Canners can join. I know Damos, whenever you need to drop out, just drop out, mate. All right?
Yeah, sure.
So we're going to start with Raya, and I'm going to get both of your scores this time because I'm interested to see how you both see it. So Raya for you, Damos.
Nah, do you know what? I'm going to give him a 10. Do you know why? Because, right, it was a clean sheet. I don't think he did anything wrong. And he made those 2 saves at the end. We're in a Champions League quarter. So if you can't get a 10 for that, then I don't know what else you'd get a 10 for. So that's my one.
I won't disagree with you on that one. Brenny, what about you?
Yeah, same. Just to add what Damos just said as well, you know, clean sheet, 120 minutes of football. Jeez, it's not easy. No. and also as well, we were well organised at the back as well, and you know what I mean, he was a big contributor to that. So yeah, I'll give him a 10 as well.
No, I'll agree with that. Yeah, to be fair, everything that he was asked to do, collecting, you know, crosses, corners, he dealt with it. No issues whatsoever. No fumbles, which is perfect for me. Even when he was having to deal with his feet, absolutely fine. So, yeah, I can't disagree with that. Right. Benjamin White, we'll start with you first, Brenny, on Benjamin.
Yeah, I thought he played really, really well last night. I mean, for me, worked hard. When you inform like how he's been recently, and he just took that into last night's game, took everything in his stride. He gets an 8 for me.
Okay, cool. What about you, Damos?
I was actually thinking the same because
it's got nothing to do with you brothers here, is it?
Now, out of the defense, you know, I thought he played really well, and that's like the best of White. You know, he's quality and he's just a hard worker. I'm looking at the highlights from yesterday, and he was everywhere. And there was a vital point where, actually, I think it was an offside where they took a shot, and one of their players tried to get the deflection, but White was there to make sure that he couldn't get it. But I think it was offside, but I don't know if it was given as offside. But I think, I think out of our defensive lot, he was one of the
365.
Who's that? He was one of a lot of our defense. I feel out of our back 4, he was up there.
Yeah, I'll agree. So we're going to move to Kivior. So what are we going to give Kivior, Damos?
He worked hard. He had a couple shaky moments, so I would put him around the sort of 6 mark. To be fair, yeah.
No, that's all right. Because I've seen a lot of people put 9s out there for him. I'm just intrigued for your opinion on him.
No, I thought he played well, but I'll just give him a 6 overall. That's what I'll give him.
What about you, Bren?
For me, Kirill, I thought for me it was an 8 as well. I thought he at times handled Conceição very well. Very, very strong on the tackle, dangerous with the long throws. And he was a left back playing as a left back. And I was impressed with the way he went forward as well at times, linking up with Trossard. I thought their partnership was pretty good. And yeah, I thought he was solid. But out of all the players in the back 4, he wasn't the worst. So he gets an 8 for me.
Do you know what? You're right, you know, because I was going to give Saliba a 6, so he should actually deserve a 7 from me, to be honest.
Okay, so 7. Okay, no worries. Look, this will all be written down later. Someone's watching this for me, so they can write all the stuff for me. Right, so we're going to move to Saliba. We'll start with you, Brenny, please.
Saliba wasn't at his best last night. I mean, as usual, his distribution, ball was great. He had some shaky moments last night, but I'm going to give him I'm going to give him a 7, mainly because he didn't do anything that was costly. That cost us, but he wasn't at his best. But I'm going to give him a 7.
Okay, what about? Are you going to stick with your 6, Damos?
So, upon close inspection, I was just looking at some stuff, and I was just thinking, he didn't do anything wrong as such. I mean, there were times he was under pressure, but he didn't really mess up. So yeah, clean sheet. I want to give him a 7, to be honest. It wasn't his best performance at all, but it wasn't a bad performance. Like, personally, that's what I think.
Okay. Geeks is saying here about Kivior got turned a few times.
He did get turned a few times.
Yeah,
but
I thought he held his own.
Saliba was just off the pace for his usual high standard, says Geeks regarding Saliba. So we're going to move to Gabriel, and I think Damos will have to go after Gabriel because it's nearly half 11 on the time.
So I think he was one of the better out of our defensive lot, in the sense of he was involved in a lot of things. There was a moment where he was, I don't know what he was doing. He was twisting up some players, and the only thing they could do is foul him. There was like 3 players around him. I don't know if you remember that, but I mean that was just one moment. But I love him and Saliba as a partnership. They were solid. They were solid as a unit in terms of my confidence in that. You know, it's not like I didn't feel worried. Some people felt worried every time they was on the attack. I know Kanna said that earlier. I just felt confident with their ability that we would have a good chance to sort of keep a clean sheet. But yeah, overall, I was happy with his performance. So I would give him an 8, to be honest.
Okay, Bren, what about you, mate?
Yeah, solid last night as always. He's just become so good to the point where, it's like if Saliba or Gabriel, if one of them was missing for the next game, it's almost as if you had to pick one to be missing through injury, whatever. It'd have to be Saliba because Gabriel is so reliable, so solid. For me, yesterday's performance, I'm giving him a 9. He was a commander last night. I felt, you know what I mean. It's just something about him. Every game he's so consistent.
I agree.
I thought he was absolutely solid last night.
I agree with everything you're saying, but the only thing I'm not sure about with Saliba and Gabriel is if one's missing, I don't know if you'll get that same amazing impact.
No, you won't, and you won't. I don't. Yeah, but I don't want that to happen. I'm just giving an example. You know what I mean? I'm just basically saying it was the reason why I came up with that analogy is because it was like Saliba is supposed to be the one, and and as good as he is, we expected him to be looking after Gabriel, but it's been Gabriel that's been looking after Saliba. It's kind of like Konate's been looking after Van Dijk, and Van Dijk's supposed to be the main man. You know what I mean?
You're spot on there.
Whereas when it was Campbell and Toure, Campbell always looked after Toure. And it was never Toure looked after Campbell. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean. But that partnership though, oh my gosh, it's so solid.
Love it.
It is. Right, Damos, I don't want you being late for your meeting.
Yeah, I'm going to run off. But yeah, I mean, just to let you know, the defense, they were my highest scoring players in the whole team, to be honest. Like, in terms of midfield and forward, I don't think any of them would get higher than the ones we've just done. But
fair enough, mate.
But guys, all the best, man, and thanks for having me on, yeah?
Thanks, Damos.
See you later, bro.
But the thing is, right, Damos has got to go, but we've got a beautiful substitution. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful. Look, He's back.
My laptop's killing me.
Oh my god. So yeah, man. So I mean, for me today, I've had my blood brother, my prod brother, and now here's my long time brother.
Oh, bless you,
Oh,
mate.
bless,
How you
man.
doing? How
I'm
you
good,
doing?
man. I'm good. It must have been mad up there.
Yeah, as I just said earlier, it was just the atmosphere was just electric, especially when they were taking. I would not like to have been a Porto penalty taker last night. I tell you, yeah, we gave it to them. It was loud whenever they were stepping up to take a penalty. So, but it was great. It was great stuff.
Wow.
Canners, I'm going to have to ask you very nice. I'm going to have to ask you quickly to rate Raya, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Kivior for me, so we can catch up, and then we'll get cracking on with George.
Yeah, sure. Okay, Raya.
Yep.
Raya, 9. Okay. White, 7. Saliba, 6.
Okay.
Gabriel, 8.
Yeah.
Kivior. Oh, I want to give him a 6.5, but we can't do halves.
No.
7. Where are we up to?
No, that we're spot on now because now we can move on to Jorginho. But the thing is, your ratings is exactly how I've seen them, and obviously I speak to a few people at the club, and the ratings have been around that. And then I was looking in obviously our group WhatsApp, and people are giving like 9s and 10s. I'm like, what game were you watching? Because I honestly don't know.
Yeah, I think Kivior got. I was a little bit nervous when the guy. I can't remember. Was it
Francisco? Yeah,
Conceição.
Yeah, he couldn't deal with him, to be honest. So whenever it was like a one-on-one with those two, I was worried. Don't get me wrong, he made a few great challenges. I think there was one in particular which saved the shot basically. Gabriel, I mean, he's been Mr. Consistent this season, to be honest. Saliba has gone off the boil a bit, and I think this break will do him a lot of good. Really, I think I don't know if he's carrying something, but he gave the ball. I think I heard your possession stats being like 82 or something like that percent, or something like that. I think
the passing accuracy was 82%.
Yeah, I think if you take Saliba out, it probably would have been up to 95. But he was mysteriously sloppy with his passing. And White, I just think it was a tough game, really, all round for us to get going. White, but again, I gave him a consistent score, really, a solid score, to be honest.
This is why I love this channel, and as much as we love all our players, we're honest with our numbers. We don't just say, "Oh, they've all got 9s and all get 10s" because we went through. No, let's dig a little deeper. Yeah, let's just be a little bit realistic. It wasn't a great performance, but we did very well to get through that. What was a hard task. And anyone that says Porto are like Burnley, I'm just never going to be friends with ever again. There's
times when you can't play football. Do you know?
Yeah, there is.
Stuff.
There was a team when I was a kid. My cousin used to play in this team. They used to be called Eldham Town. And any time you had to play against him in a cup or the league, every team were like, "Oh, come on," because they were so hard to play against. They were just a nightmare. We hated playing them. They had a horrible kit. It looked like West Ham's. It was just horrendous. And that's basically what Porto did to us last night. It was just a horrible team to play against. Horrible. Well done to Porto. They've got some great players. I would probably look at a couple of them and go, I wouldn't mind you actually at Arsenal. But yeah, it was just, I'm glad we're through it. Let's see who we get in the next round. Then we'll discuss, whoever we get on Friday.
I don't know about you or any of the watchers, I should say, guys viewing, but do you think this whole round of 16 monkey off on our back, as it was playing in their minds, where they were kind of like playing a little bit kind of, I don't know, with Arteta, and none of the players really been in that position apart from Havertz and Jorginho. I just thought it was kind of playing on their mind a bit, kind of like thinking, "Oh, here we go again. We haven't won a knockout game at the Emirates."
I'll tell you what doesn't help is the media.
They don't help at all.
And I'll be honest, I said to Em, because Em was down here before the game started last night. Obviously, wanted to spend as much time with me before basically the football started. And she was like, "Why are they talking about Porto so much? Why are they talking about this not never won in England streak so much?" I'm like, because that's the media. They hate Arsenal. They hate Arsenal as much as they want, and they would loved a Porto to have won last night because it would have been the only team to ever lose to Porto. Would have been
that's so true. I mean, there's so many things I wanted to get off my chest that what I've wanted to kind of be getting on streams with, about the whole capital N word narrative and how the media kind of plays things out. You know how we always get done about over celebrating and all that. Carragher getting on his high horse. He never said anything about get down a tunnel after Nottingham Forest when Liverpool beat Nottingham Forest, did they?
Yeah, exactly.
Things like that. It just winds me up. And exactly what you're saying.
I live right by the Molineux. I know the Wolves fans. I know when Wolves win. Trust me, they're celebrating for half an hour after the game wins, no matter who they've beaten.
Yeah.
And obviously I get to see it, so it's not me just being just being a pain in the ass. I literally know that Wolves celebrate when they win 3 points. They celebrate, and every team
and rightly
should.
So.
Exactly.
Right.
I've got no issues, and like I've said, those people that complain about it never get into NFL because trust me, you would lose your head on NFL because they celebrate a tackle.
Yeah.
They celebrate moving 2 yards. I'm like, seriously. That is where I get my. And Luke, I know if Luke's still listening, you know how much I hate this. Because when I first started watching NFL, I wasn't sure what was going on. And I said, something's happened because they're celebrating. Yeah, they just tackled someone. I'm like, what? They didn't score. I'm like, what are they doing? They're dancing and whatever.
Exactly. And that's the thing, because I remember years ago when I was at Old Trafford, and the Old Trafford, they were celebrating a win against us, and it was only the League Cup quarter final, but the fans were going crazy. They were waving us goodbye and everything else, and all we could say is, well, what are you waving us for? You're coming back home with us. But you know what I mean? It was just, and it was just, So they were over celebrating, and there was nothing we could do or say about it. We weren't moaning about it, you know what I mean? So, geez,
brilliant.
I totally get that,
Oh God! Sometimes I wish I wasn't on camera, but that was funny. I'm sorry.
I like that.
You're coming back
in the ribs.
Oh God! Anyway, right. Let's move on to some of the comments before we start rating some more. Crazy, really. They got a clean sheet. How far we have come from the days of Mustafi. 100%. The Emirates is now truly the home of Arsenal. It's a very good fortress, but for me, where the home is for me. Always will be. Better team still went through. I don't particularly rate Porto, is what most darkly arts from Porto always going to be seeing Pepe in defence. We just overcome the Champions League version of Stoke. I've heard that as well. I've heard that about Porto. You have teams that are hard to play against, and you have teams that are easy to play against. Carlisle, Chris, don't be mean about your own team. Last season, when Arsenal were clear at the top of the media, were the same. Then, they always are.
Yeah, the narrative.
But I like that because back in our day, and we're all around the same age, so we were hated in the 80s and the 90s by the media, and we kind of enjoyed it, to be honest. We liked it. So I like that the fact we're back there again. Means we're actually a threat. Blow what others think. We have been through the mud. Enjoy these moments. Celebrate, cheer. If we do not appreciate the journey, then what is the point?
150%. So I think my camera might have stalled again, but I don't know if you can hear me.
No, it's fine, mate. We can still see your beautiful face.
Oh, okay.
Brenny speaking facts. Man United fans launching.
I'll tell you, Chris.
It's funny because obviously we all know we have a sister channel, and there's been some beef between a couple of them, and that's literally like Connor King was here now. Oh, and Brenny knows exactly who I'm on about as well. The Man United person. I'm not going to say any names because I'll get in trouble. Right. Anyway, so let's get into Jorginho. I'm going to be interested with him actually as well. So, Canners, I'm going to start with you with Jorginho.
Actually, I think I'll give him a 7. as well.
Okay.
He was decent enough, solid. I mean, he came off simply for tactics to obviously try and get the goal. I think everything. He actually was probably the one who was probing a lot more in terms of passes forward and stuff. So he's come on in the last few weeks, leaps and bounds in my book. So yeah, a 7.
Okay. What about you, Bren?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I mean, as soon as I saw him, I wasn't happy that he went off, but I just thought, you know what, it's tactical because it normally is when he comes off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To get for us to get that try and get that second goal. But yeah, as usual, he's just so consistent. I love watching this guy play. I really do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's always talking to the players where they should be. There was a particular point where White wasn't inverting, and he was telling him, "Get in, come in, come in." Do you know what I mean? Because you know, later on in the game, players forget. You're tired. It's natural. It's human, and you need players like that to kind of remind you to do your duty. You know, do your job, be where you're supposed to be. And yeah, he did that. He does that.
We did. Right, let's move on to Rice. So, Brenny.
Well, he was just. I mean, he was his usual self. Yes, I thought he worked hard. I mean, the fact that when you see him a set piece man, you know what I mean? You think, wow, you know. I'm just gonna. He was solid. I'm gonna give him a 7 as well. But I just thought his all round play. I thought it was really good yesterday, and he's reveling in that number 8 role as well. He really is, and I hope he's playing number 8 come Man City.
Yeah, Canners. What about you with Rice?
I agree with Brenny. I'll give him a 7 as well. He was a constant in that midfield, up and down. The amount of work he got through. There was one point where the ball kind of broke and there was no one in the midfield, and he just looked around, put his arms out, and obviously, but just did the run, just did it to kind of break, to close them down. And there's one pass he did where we was a little bit hairy, where they had pressed us really well, but with one touch he just spun it out to Saka, and I just thought, do you know what? This guy is absolute levels. I don't think we can. Just ring Moyes up. Can we give him another 20-25 mil for this guy? Seriously,
he's a bargain. That's a bargain, man.
I think he's given us. He's such a good player, and I never thought he was that good a player. I thought he was good. Really? Don't get me wrong, but I didn't think he's now quickly becoming one of the best players in the world. Sorry, I know I don't want to say that, but he is in his position, and he's learning so much what he's doing, playing at both a 6 and an 8. He's immense. He's brilliant. His energy is infectious as well.
I like no one's really talking about the price tag anymore, which tells you everything about Declan.
After game 1, that wasn't even spoke about. Do you know what I mean? That was it. No one said you didn't hear 105 million again.
No, he's the game that convinced me when he was at West Ham. And I thought, yeah, this guy's special. I'm glad we're looking at him. Was against Kidderminster Harriers in the FA Cup. I know it sounds weird.
No, I know what you mean. No, I know exactly.
But West Ham was struggling like really badly against Kiddy. Kidderminster's not far from me, so obviously it's a local team for me. But he literally went, you know what? My teammates can't do buggery today. I'm just going to do it myself. And that's literally, and that tells me how amazing he is, because that is what I expect from Messi. It's kind of what I expect from. I'm not going to say
players.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what you kind of want.
Yeah, and like a low for Mateus.
Oh yeah. We're gonna go into the German area. We've got to put Matthias Sammer in there. I'm sorry, Matthias Sammer as well for me.
Oh, Sammer, he was.
Fellow Ginge. You know, I love Ginge.
I think he killed us, didn't he, in '95? playing for Mönchengladbach.
I loved him. Yeah. Anyway, we're talking about the wrong people here.
Yes.
Right, Odegaard. So we're going to start with Canners with Odegaard.
He was probably our best forward player, I think, on the night. So I'm going to give him a 7.
Okay. Sorry, Moss, if you're hearing this back, because I know you're going to be upset with us.
Sorry, actually, let me give him an 8 for that ball. Actually, for this for Trossard. Okay, It was sublime. I'm just looking back on it now, and it was absolutely sublime. Sorry, Odegaard. Sorry, Moss. 8. He was the best of our attacking players by far.
But the 8 tells you everything. You know, it's not a 9. It should, for me, someone like Odegaard in a game like that should be getting 9 minimum. And he didn't. He's got what was 7.
He had a lot of time on the ball. To be fair, he was given a lot of time.
He did.
Yeah. Bren, what about you on Odegaard?
Well, even 15, 20 minutes ago, I was thinking, 8 as well. But he was the best attacking player. I thought from what I saw, he was basically pulling strings. The ball through to Trossard was second to none.
Yeah,
that's what he can do. That was like, the last person I saw to put balls like that for us was Mesut Ozil.
I had that in my head too.
You know what I mean? And also I thought the goal that was disallowed. To be honest, I thought there was nothing wrong with that. We've been victims of shirt pulling and getting bundled over in the box or wherever, and the opposition goal still stands. And I thought, really, not really anything in that, but is what it is.
In European competitions, they are really tight on it.
It's mad, isn't it?
In my opinion, that was a foul. So,
is it me? But in the game, was there a lot of like stoppages and ball going out and players feigning injury, especially in the first half?
There wasn't.
Not for me. There wasn't.
No.
And what about in the second half? No.
Second half, there was only wasn't it like 2 or 3 minutes?
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't a lot for me.
No, so the ball was in play a lot. But for me, it just looked like there was a lot of stop starting, and they gave 1 minute at the end. I'm used to seeing like 3 or 4 minutes, for the before half time, and then 5+, 6 minutes or whatever at the end of the game. But there wasn't. There was only 3 minutes at the end of the 90, and I was thinking, I'm sure these guys have been on so many injuries, going on, etc. And I don't know, but to me, I just thought the ref was shocking last night. I don't know, it might be different atmosphere on the ground, but I just thought the ref was shocking.
I'll be honest, I think, because my dad will definitely attest to this, when he ever goes to games, hates the ref, thinks he's had the worst performance every single game he ever goes to. But for me, the ref was decent last night.
Was he?
For me, he was. That's just my opinion. Obviously, you're entitled to yours.
No. I mean, obviously, we see something different when we're in the crowd. We see fouls that are probably not fouls, and do you know what I'm saying? So when they're not given, you kind of thinking, what is this ref seeing? Kind of thing.
Yeah, well, obviously, over the family dinner with Trossards, he obviously had a word with his brother.
He was a
this is
twin.
I'm telling you.
Isn't it?
Oh my god!
So weird. That was
the ref scored our goal in it. That's why.
Quickly, can I cover some comments? What type of beef? There was quite a big beef regarding an Arsenal fan and a Man United fan in our group WhatsApp that we're all part of, which is all the channels. It was quite heated. That's all I'm going to say. A real complete midfielder. Yes, I totally agree. BX. Moss gives everyone a 10. He doesn't give everyone a 10, but he does give very good high scores. I have seen his in the group WhatsApp.
You're likely to get a 10.
I'll be honest, it was a bit crazy for me, in my opinion. Big up to Dermot. To be honest, Bobby, that was bad last night. Like I said, I'm not going to be. I haven't been gentle about it. I've been honest. I wasn't impressed. I need to see better in the next round. And to be honest, with the opponents that we'll probably face, we have to be a lot better in the next round. But the crack review and the chat made up for a bad game. Yeah, the chat last night was quite funny, to be fair. Big up to everyone that's always in the chat. Right, so where are we? We're going to move on to Saka. So, Canners, Saka, please.
Gosh. This is
Go with your head, not with your heart.
Yeah, this is the worst I've seen him play. I even wanted to give him a 6, but even that would be generous, to be fair. I have to give him a 5.
No, fair enough.
I think there were blatant fouls on him where actually even a lino could see, like right down where the guys were. I don't know if you guys saw it. There's a couple of times where he was holding, but he would just stop and just give a moan or whatever. I don't know what was wrong with him last night, but hey, I think I've not seen him that ineffective for a long time. The triumphant of why Odegaard and Saka wasn't in play yesterday at all, and it was a bit discerning and worrying. And I think Porto did their job, really did their homework. So
yeah.
5.
Yeah, me and Damos had a conversation before we went on stream about it, and he was saying, "Well, maybe was it not because Porto set up against him better? But if Saka's meant to be as good as everyone likes to say he is, he should be able to cope with it. You know, that's how I look at it. You know,
best players do, right?
Exactly. That's how I always look at it. Best players manage to work out a fullback. I'm a fullback. The best wingers would have to work me out.
Yeah.
So it's as simple as that for me. Brenny, Saka for you.
Yeah, just basically, I agree with everything what Canners has said, and I was just looking at the extended highlights as well on just now, and even though he wasn't at his best, and I was looking at it thinking, well, yeah, give him a 7, but I thought, you know what, it's a 6 for me. Yeah, there were a couple of. I mean, he tried. He let loose the trigger a couple of times. Was trying to work well with Ben White, and all he does, or square the ball to Odegaard. But like you say, there was that time when he was having a moan, and I just thought, just win the ball back. Just get on with it. Just. But you know what though, I look at that and it's and top players do have that, but then a lot of top players, well, they just get on with it, they fight, and then over the years we've seen top players with big performances, regardless of whatever round the Champions League is or the business end of a league season, the cup, and yeah.
Do you know what? Sorry, I was just going to say, Saka for me is like, he's amazing, and what I mean by that is that he's probably last few games has not been on it, and I think what's happening is that a lot of opposition are trying to work him out, and they've worked him out to a point. But what Saka does, which is so brilliant, right, and which is all the coaches he's ever worked with will probably attest to, he'll like plug in a USB into himself, version 2 coming. Do you know what I'm saying? He'll work it out. He'll reset. Assess what's going on, what teams are doing against him, and then work out a way to get through that, and he'll come back better. And the thing is, that's what Saka keeps doing, and he'll think of another way. Wait a minute, you try to stop me that way, you can't stop me that way anymore. Where people are saying, oh, he's always coming on his left, boom, now he's going on his outside on his right and things like that. He'll plug himself into that USB again and come out with another version of himself again, and it'll be a lot better. And people then have to go back to the drawing board and say, how do we work this kid out? So I'm not worried with Saka. Give him a couple of games and we'll see a new one, and he'll be unstoppable again. He'll go in another 7 or 8 games where he'll be providing goals and assists again.
All I would say, we need him against City.
Yeah,
we need him to perform.
I don't want to see him for England. I don't want to see him in the friendlies. I hope Southgate loves to play him 90 minutes.
He'll be playing every. I would say, why don't just play Foden out on the right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it.
Chris saying the ref actually having a decent game is like the FIA and F1 making right decisions. Never happens because you know me, I'm always very harsh on the refs. I get told off at work constantly about it, but I don't care. I will always speak out about the refs, how bad they are, especially Rob Cross. Rubbish. But last night's ref, decent. I thought it was decent.
But I don't know. Do you think there's a huge difference though with the refs in this country as there is to the refs in Europe? This guy didn't want to give a yellow card, did he? At all?
No, he didn't. No.
Whereas there's so many challenges. Oh, the Gabriel one on one of their players was naughty. He should have had a card, and we was waiting for the card, but it was like he's got away with it. He hasn't got a card.
Yeah.
We just couldn't believe it.
When was that? Was that second half?
First half.
What minute?
Remember? God, I can't remember. Oh gosh, a minute.
I only saw Saliba get a yellow card yesterday.
Yeah, no, but Gabriel blatantly should have got
that one. Yeah.
I think it was in the middle of the park. Basically, he was late. When I say late, he was like,
oh yeah, I saw that.
Crazy,
yeah,
and the guy was down for a while. And yeah, it was a booking. Everyone was around me saying, "Is he not getting booked? Is he not?" Got away with one there.
Geek saying that's his lowest performance of 2024.
Yeah.
This is why we missed Martinelli using the other wing effectively. If struggling on the right, 100%. Martinelli was a big miss last night for me as well. Right, Trossard. So we'll start with Brenny.
7 last night for me. Took his goal well. I didn't think it was amazing last night, but in all honesty, I think with him, European games, he does seem to turn up with goals or assists. I thought he were. I didn't think he was poor last night by any means, but I just thought he's not a Martinelli, but he's clever. I just think he's a very clever player, and I thought in a second half as well. It's like he was trying to make things happen, but it just didn't. But that goal he took well. I mean, Odegaard's free ball to him. Thought he did all right, but you know what? He'll have better games, and I'm a big Trossard fan.
I know you are, yeah.
But yeah.
Canners, what about you?
He would have got a 5, but for the goal, he got a 6 for me. I just feel that for too long in the game, I was actually surprised that he wasn't subbed, to be fair. When I think it was Jorginho went off at that point, I thought it was going to be him, Trossard, to be fair, because there was two.
Yeah.
Oh shit, Trossard's playing. What the hell?
Yeah.
He was out of the game too much. Whether that's down to us targeting our, their left hand, our right hand side, or what, I don't know. But I just don't think he was in the game enough. He had a better first half than he did second half, put it that way, in my opinion. But yeah, the goal he took was great. And you're right, Brenny. I mean, this guy, he does come up with important goals, and that was an important goal at an important time where we was kind of thinking, oh my God, how are we going to score against this team? But yeah, I'll give him a 6. I just don't think he did enough throughout the 90, and even he obviously was taken off, wasn't he, for Nketiah in the end, I think. So So yeah, 6.
Fair enough. Martinelli is just out injured. He's got a nasty cut to his ankle, so
he's got nearly 3 weeks off now, isn't he? So he's
he should be back. If I hear any different, I'll let people know. But as far as I'm aware, he should be back for the City game, which is 2.5 weeks away. So I will still be covering Arsenal because we've got a Chelsea game on Friday. The following weekend, We're playing in Walsall against Aston Villa. So, yeah, my niece and my brother coming up for that game as well. So
Nice.
coming all the way to Walsall.
That's good.
So, yeah, we'll still be doing Arsenal content. No worries about that. But let's move on to Havertz. Canners.
Yeah, I'll give him. He faded a bit in the second half, so I'm going to give him a 7. I thought it was a nuisance all the time. He put himself about really well. He worked very, very hard, and took his penalty, where you couldn't. Everyone was saying, "Oh my god, if this guy misses," and then you heard everyone started singing his song.
Yeah.
And you can only imagine what was going through his mind. And when he scored, you could see the emotion obviously pour out, in a sense like, thank fuck I scored. Because you could go back to that capital N word, the narrative, how it would have been, oh, you know, he's this and he's that, and da 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 da. If anyone's going to miss, it would have been Havertz, etc., etc. But no, he did well, put himself about. And do you know what? I think the biggest compliment I can pay to him right now is that he starts. He can't. He's played himself into the team where you can't drop him at this point in time.
Not this season, no.
No.
What I would say regarding, sorry, Brad, before I move on to your score, what you're seeing from Havertz right now is what you'll see from our new striker. So basically, what Havertz is a stopgap at the moment.
Yeah.
What happens within next season, I couldn't tell you. I honestly haven't got a clue. I don't know how it's going to work. But with what we're trying to target in the summer is what we're seeing from Havertz now. So you imagine what Havertz is doing, but an actual proper striker, we are going to be dangerous.
Yeah, yeah.
Because Havertz is brilliant at the moment for what he's doing, and he's not a striker because he's not. I always cast him as a right winger. That's how I saw him at Leverkusen, and he was very good at it. He's not a striker, not for me.
Yeah, no, I think the one player I've seen, well, 2 players actually I've seen firsthand who could possibly do that role better than Havertz. One is Isaac, that I've seen this season, and 2, Tony was brilliant against us.
Yeah,
he really was, and he's a unit. I know Saliba had a good-ish game against him, but I've not seen anyone really trouble Saliba the way. I mean, it was, I would say 50-50. I'd like to see the stats on headers won against them too. It was really kind of like 50-50. And the thing is, Tony could probably play that role a lot better than Havertz. A lot better than Havertz, in my opinion.
Okay. Well,
but Osimhen, probably even better than both of those 2 as well. I don't know.
I don't think Tony is an option now.
No.
There's something that Arsenal don't like about him, which is the same regarding a certain Canadian. There's basically them 2 on the same category for Arsenal. They're just not that keen on him for certain reasons, which I don't totally agree. And what was the first one you said? Isaac.
Yeah.
See, that will be interesting because if Newcastle do finish around the 10th, 8th mark, they'll be out of Europe.
Yeah.
They have to. I know that FFP will probably change next season. They're thinking about adopting the UEFA system, which is 85%, which is totally different. However, Newcastle will still have to sell to buy. I would test the resolve with Isaac because I reckon we could tempt them.
Yeah, how much are they getting for? 60?
Yeah, about that. I reckon we could quite easily tempt him with a 90 million bid.
I'd even say less than that.
You reckon? Oh, I think they'd want to make a good profit.
Really?
Yeah. I think a 90 million bid would get it.
I wouldn't. That's the thing.
I'm not saying pay 90 million.
Yeah,
I think there's better players out there.
100%. Yeah. That's the thing that's the thing that will concern me is like 90 minutes. I don't think he's a.
Don't forget, I sit around a table and I listen to loads of other people work at other clubs, and I that's how my brain works. So it's not me just saying, "Oh, we'll definitely go and buy it for 90 million." It's just that literally that felt like work then. How much would you advise us to pay for Isaac? But if someone wanted Isaac, I think a £90 million bid would get him.
I guess everything comes into play, isn't it? The length of his contract that he has remaining, and other things as well. But Yeah. I think
BX is saying 70 million tops.
I would agree, to be honest.
I think Newcastle would want to make at least a decent profit. That's the thing. I don't think it wouldn't look very good considering who owns them. That you've signed a player for 60 odd million and you've literally made about £5 million profit on him. It wouldn't look great.
Well, the only thing you could go back and say, well, you don't go broke on a profit, do you?
Yeah, but these are owned by like the richest owners in the world. So yeah. Victor, I'm never going to try and say his surname because it will come out some weird surname which I'm trying to pronounce. That guy, thank you. And Santiago Jimenez, I like both of those. From what I've heard so far about Victor, is there's meant to be some European teams that are going to come in for him. Now, weirdly, he's more interested in going to one of those than coming back to the Premier League. Well, coming back to England. I don't know why. I don't know what that's about. But yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to come to England at the moment. It looks like he'll be going elsewhere in Europe. So like a PSG, someone like that, because obviously they've got to replace who's leaving. And obviously Napoli as well, because obviously Osimhen will be leaving.
Yeah. So
maybe he's the replacement for Osimhen. So interesting things ahead. Right. Sorry, Brent. It's taken a while to get back to you.
That's all right.
No, it's my fault.
Right.
I went down a cul-de-sac and didn't come out for a while. Brenny, so you for Havertz, mate?
Well, I'll tell you what. He worked so hard last night. 7 for me as well. He was, as J. Jonah Jameson said about Spider-Man, he was a public menace. He's an absolute. He is. He's an in your face. You know what? I'll always say, I've said this many times, and Kai Havertz, for me, where he's playing now, I agree. You cannot drop him right now.
No.
I would start him against City in that position. And also, but I'll tell you what, if we was playing 4-4-2, he would excel in that position. Oh my gosh. Because it's like I told you, he'd play the smudger role.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does it well, you know what I mean? And you know what? It'd be nice if Alan Smith and Kai Havertz can have a get together, or if Smith could just interview him from Sky, getting it, it'd be great, man. You know what I mean? And I always think it's always nice to talk to legends of the club. You know what I mean? Not just Henry, not just Raya, not just Martin Keown. You know what I mean? Alan Smith, yeah, because Alan Smith for me was the best player I'd ever seen live for us who can hold the ball up. I don't think anyone else can hold it ball better than Alan Smith. But
totally
but for his and his penalty, when I actually thought didn't his penalty, I'm sure, didn't it just clip the inside of the post and go in? I think it did, but it was so close. I thought he was going to miss it. And I thought, oh man, woo. Because you know what, Cannons, like you said, man, the media, even our banter group chat, they were waiting. And then they had to put their videos away, man. They had to, oh right, can't clip that now. You know what I mean? I just have to, I was going to put that in it, 60 million down the drain. It's like, nah, man, it's like. So yeah, 7 for me, man. 7, absolute warrior.
Yeah. He's horrible to play against. I can only imagine elbows and arms and legs everywhere.
Yeah. BX is agreeing with what you're saying about Smudger. Yeah.
Do you know that Smudger Smith had the best touch?
Yeah.
Of a player that I saw, live until Bergkamp came to the club.
Yeah.
Even if you look at the 89 goal, that was his touch.
Yeah. Right, let's move on to the subs. So obviously Jesus came on for Jorginho in the 83rd minute, which I have to quickly refer to. What on earth was going on with the subs last night in that game? I have never seen a game like it where the first sub was like the 80th minute.
That was crazy, wasn't it?
Do you think
it was so Arteta knew it was going to go to extra time?
Well, I'm guessing that's what Sergio's plan was to get into extra time and penalties. But I suppose Miko also thought that as well. And I'm like, I've never seen a game like it where literally no substitutions have happened. But anyway, so Jesus, we'll start with you, Brenny, with Jesus.
7. I thought he did well last night. To be honest, I'm not I'm not exaggerating when I say this, but if it came on, say in the 65th, 70th minute, I think he would have scored last night. He looked hungry. He was. I mean, Cannons, you must have thought his first touch.
Yeah.
Oh, his first touch was almost, could have been the second goal.
And the keeper, didn't he? I think.
Yeah, it went under the keeper's legs and just corner. It was like, whoa. It was. I thought he was full of energy last night, and I tell you what's impressed me since he's returned, because I saw it against Brentford, is it's his touch. He just doesn't look rusty. His touch is just immaculate. You know what I mean? It just
if he could be 5 inches taller, he'd be perfect for us.
Yeah, definitely. But with all this sort of bringing in a striker and that, for me, he's still got a lot. Still got a lot to offer. I want him to be here next season. Could be on the right, could be on the left. I mean, we need squad rotation, don't we? You know what I mean? Especially we want it. Like in the summer, we want it to be back today where you can just bring in anyone that could do a job, just like back in the day. Yeah. And he gets a 7 for me.
We need a big squad. Full stop.
What I would say is Jesus is not up for sale, but if there was an offer to come in that Arsenal would be hard to turn down, then we would have a backup plan to get another striker in. Because there's no way Eddie stays. Eddie's gone.
Yeah.
And even last night's performance kind of says that anyway. So I think his head's gone. I think he knows he's gone. He's behind players that aren't actually strikers now. So, I feel sorry for him, but I do wish him good luck at whatever club he goes to. He is, look, I've got no issues with any of the players apart from Cedric, as you all know. But
watch, Cedric's going to score 119th.
If he scores, mate, I will celebrate, and I'll be going like that, and I can't wait to leave. See you later. That's just how I am. Even when Chris Gromyer scored, I still celebrated it. I was just very thankful when he left the club. That's how I look at it. That's just how I am about certain people.
Come on, Chris. Come on.
Well, he's a national team coach at the moment, so he's busy doing other stuff. He's doing all right, to be fair. What was I saying? But regarding Nketiah and Jesus for me is in the plans for next season. However, if a bid comes in that's just too tempting not to go, we're going to have that. So his age is he 27?
Yeah.
And obviously, there's probably the best time to get money for him as well. Like the most amount of money you can get for him is probably now. After this one, you'd probably think his price is only going to depreciate anyway. So who knows with that? But we're definitely getting a striker. Who knows? We might get two. We might go Brave. But I don't see it right now. So Canners, Jesus for you.
I'll give him a 6. I agree with what Brenny said about him, how he plays his touch and everything, but I just don't think I was expecting him to turn the game in our favour, to be that little bit more us being on top. And it was extra time was evens, to be fair. I expected a little bit more from him, because he was pretty much the unknown in the tie. Do you know what I'm saying? And I wanted him to kind of give them a different kind of question. Did it to a point, but I just don't think he did enough. And I think that's probably come down to, obviously, game fitness and that getting that rhythm back. Because as a forward, when you play, you need a certain rhythm. And once you have that, then you just know that. And Havertz is in that rhythm right now. That's why we're getting the performances. And at the moment, because it's a bit stop-start for Jesus, he's not in that rhythm as yet. But some of the stuff he did, held the ball up well, relieved pressure, etc. Did well, but I just don't think he did enough in the final third, which is what he was brought on to do. So I give him a 6.
No, fair enough. Obviously, we've got 2 more subs to talk about. We will have to talk about Eddie. He was on the pitch longer than the 10-minute rule that I have. Canners, Eddie. if you noticed him.
Yeah, it's 4.
Yeah,
it hurts me to give him that, but yeah.
No, you have to be honest, don't you? Look, if Martinelli had a bad game, who's my favourite player in the squad, if he had a bad game, I have to be honest about it. I can't protect him. I love Eddie, lovely lad. However, last night, what was the point? I really don't.
You just don't see how he's gonna get the ball.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's just really weird, and it kind of showed last year when he was playing, or even some points this year where we just didn't have nothing up top. Where I don't know, it just seems like we run out of ideas when he'll set certain teams, so he just doesn't suit us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Bren, what about you with Eddie?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to give him 5, being generous, but you know, I just thought he was just there basically to basically increase the tempo of the game with his pace, get time. But yeah, just a standard 5 for me.
No, fair enough.
Yeah.
Zinni, who did actually come on, I did actually recognise, did actually notice as well. Brenny, Zinni for you, mate.
No, he was a 4, and he was poor. He just kept giving the ball away, like giving away free chocolate. I was not impressed with him. You know, even when I thought, okay, he's got this, probably just, just play the ball out for a throw or do something, and then all of a sudden it's a corner. I'm like, what the hell? He was just giving the ball away. It's like
everyone lost their minds at that point in the ground.
Yeah, no, I wasn't impressed. I mean, yeah, with him, I always say he's not even a left back anyway. He did invert as well, but nah, for me, I love to see him in central midfield.
Canners?
I have to agree with Brenny, to be fair. He come on, his first touch was sublime. He headed it straight back to Raya. Just thought, oh, okay, he's come on, whatever. I thought, bro, let's get him in. You know, he might be able to pick a pass, etc., etc. But as Brenny was saying, he just kept giving the ball away, and not in just like silly areas, but breaks against us.
Yeah,
you know, where we're in trouble, and you just don't do that in Europe. Do you know what I'm saying? Against anyone. Because it's such on a knife edge, you know, you've got to keep the ball. I mean, I just put it down to, I guess I'll try and be kind to him. It is probably just a little bit of match fitness, ring rust, playing himself into the game. But if you're going to do that with someone like Zinchenko, man, you've got to bring him on around the 65th, 70-minute mark, not 106 minute where the game's on a knife edge.
Yeah, I agree. Will either of you be shocked that Zinchenko possibly could be sold this summer?
No. I think his effectiveness and his stock for the team has lowered, especially since Kivior's come in and done what he's done. And also as well with Timber coming back, a lot of people thought Timber was going to be our left back, because I think that's where he started, didn't he, against Forest?
Yes.
Yeah.
In the Charity Shield. So I don't feel with the way the team's going, what Arteta's looking to set up. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. The only question is how much would we get for him?
True. Oh, actually, we'll come to Brenny then. How much would you want for Cine?
Well, like I said, I personally wouldn't want him to go because I still think, squad player, squad depth. That's what I'm thinking of. But if he's to go, I'd say about between 35-40 mil.
Okay. Well, we'll keep an eye on that because, as far as I'm aware, Cine possibly could leave due to the fact we are looking at another left back to come in. So that tells you everything. Kivior for me will be sold. If not sold, he'll be loaned and then eventually sold. So like an obligation to buy.
Wow.
But
we then get another centre half in?
Yes, we've got quite a big list, and I still believe that we're going to get about 5 to 6 players this summer if we are brave and we can sell who we want to sell. That's the big question: is if we can sell what we want to sell, we will have a big splurge, and it will be the last big splurge for a while. To be fair. Yeah, centre backs we are looking at them now. We've got full backs on the list. We've got a midfielder on the list. We've got a winger on the list. We've got a striker on the list, and obviously a goalkeeper as well for obvious reasons we all know about. But yeah, so 5 to 6 players at the moment in the summer. So it's going to be an interesting one. But yeah, if Kivior, because I do think Kivior will leave, and I don't think it's got nothing to do with Arsenal or anything. I think he just wants to go back to Serie A, to be honest.
Does he? I think he's played himself into this team, to be fair, and
he's not that happy, and I find it quite weird, personally. But I think currently it's looking like there's a Serie A team that are going to try and sign him, and it'll be a loan with an obligation to buy, basically to help Kivior so he can leave when he wants to, but also the club that want to get him can't really afford the price that Arsenal want straight away. So it kind of suits both teams, I suppose. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting summer. We will get into this a little bit later in the few months. Obviously, you know me, I always come back and talk about transfer talk. I don't do this very well, Steve. So Brenny or Canners, can you do this? Because I don't want to do Niger a bad service here, because I know Niger does this brilliantly, but I can't.
My people.
My people. Yeah.
It would have sucked if I did it, I'll be honest. So it would have sucked with me doing it. So big up to Niger, big up to Steve as well. Timber will be back with a vengeance. Cine is a see you later, limited time offer at Arsenal. Unfortunately, yeah. For me, it wouldn't surprise me if he goes to Newcastle. That's the current team looking at him, and I do get it.
I wouldn't accept anything less than 50.
Okay, well, to be honest, I haven't seen his market value. I haven't looked at that yet, so I do need to look at the market value. Tierney is obviously going to be sold, but people need to be calm about the price on that because they ain't going to be happy. But
can't be less than 25, is it?
Yeah, it is less than 25. Ooh. Yeah, we're going to actually technically make a loss on him. But at the end of the day, he's never going to fit in the Arsenal system, so we need the money. Let's get him out. I wish him all the best, by the way, to Tierney, because I love him to bits. But yeah, it is what it is. I would move Zinchenko to midfield. He's natural midfielder. Kivior and Timber at left back, says Chris. That's right. It. We're getting Hakimi. No, I know the fullback we're looking at, and it's definitely not Hakimi. Did Pep lend Arteta money last few years? Just messing. I'm not commenting on anything because I'll get in trouble big time. So I'm just not.
Come on, Chris. Come on.
Newcastle are worthy club, so Cannons is right. Pay up.
100%. Yeah, if Newcastle, the richest club in the world, right? Estate owned, literally. So, and that's a wealthy, bloody state.
Yes.
So pay up.
Right. Let's move on to Mikel. Branny, rating for Mikel for what he did last night.
Eight. I thought he set the team up well. To be honest, getting a clean sheet in 120 minutes is something for me, because you don't lose game. But also, I mean, I thought he picked the right 11 yesterday. Yep. You know, the substitution phases, I actually thought, like Canna said, I actually thought Trossard was going to go off as well. I would have, for some reason, I would have kept Jorginho up, because what I was looking at with Jorginho was basically, I thought he was going to pick this one magical pass, and he's so capable of that. You know what I mean? That could have just lit the roof last night. You know, 88 minutes gone, if you were still on the pitch, just one magical pass. he was better off leaving Kirill on the pitch, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Bringing Zinchenko on, jeez.
Do you think that might have been penalty related though?
Yeah, most likely.
No, in case he needs to get to that stage, maybe.
Well, I'm guessing the fifth penalty taker would probably have been Gabriel Jesus.
Ah, yeah.
That's what I reckon.
Yeah.
I know we only took 4 penalties last night, but I reckon it could have been. I reckon Jesus would have been the fifth taker.
Maybe. Yeah.
You know, but you know, I just find that it was like he was. It was like it was almost like we were playing for extra time with like 20, 15 minutes to go, and I thought, nah, because I felt we could get a second goal, but it was just being cautious. Hey,
I said it sounds like you're talking yourself out of giving him an 8. You want to give him?
No, I'm not because I would have given him more, but yeah, and the fact is he's got us through to the last 8, regardless of how he's done it. He's got us there. And I think that did weigh heavily on the players' minds as well. So, and that's what I think, regardless of who we play against, I actually think the performances in the quarterfinals, win or lose, will be better because we've got that monkey off our back. So, yeah, 8 for Mikel, and he's going up and up and up in my estimation every day.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that one, to be fair. Because me and you pretty much agreed on Arteta. We're not 100% convinced yet. But he's
just wanted to prove us wrong.
Exactly, and like I've said, I've said this to you, Brony, overnight. I don't care where the person's from. I don't care if they're an ex-Tottenham legend. If they are winning me games and they're winning my club trophies, I love them. I don't care where they're from. It's got nothing to do with me.
That's right.
You know, so yeah. Canners, what about you with Arteta?
I'll give him a 7.
Okay.
I agree with what Brenny was saying about you know, how he performed yesterday, but there's one thing which you stated about, you know, the first sub was at 86th minute or something, like 83rd minute or something. 83rd minute. If you're looking to win a game at home,
that's a point.
You know, you make a change. I think he was a bit, dare I say, playing, I don't know, his decisions with the handbrake on. You know, sometimes you might be that little bit. He talks about the players being brave. Maybe he should have been a little bit brave and making a change. Or maybe he was just nervous to kind of, you know, change it and, you know, actually go for it. It's a balancing act. I get it. With us going through, luckily by the lottery of penalties, you could say, all right, he's been proven right. But I guess we'll never know if he did make changes, positive changes in terms of, you know, throwing on a couple of attackers here and there, whatever, whether or not that would have made a difference. So, so I'm going to give him a solid 7 because I think it's the average mark really for him, really, because we got through. We're in the hat basically for the next round, and that's really what you can only really ask for. But yeah, next time I want him to think of my heart rate and my, you know, going forward. I would rather it be a little bit more comfortable next time, please, Mr. Arteta.
Yeah, I agree on that one because for me, like, why do we see no Nelson? Nelson would have been a perfect game for him.
Instead of Nketiah.
Yeah, for me, I'm not being picking on Eddie. I'm sorry, Gunther. I'm not picking on Eddie on this. But Nelson, when he's been coming on lately, shares something that I enjoy.
Pace.
Dirty play. You don't know what he's going to do. He picks up the ball, got some pace, and he's just going to do something special with it. And I like that about him. Eddie doesn't excite me anymore. He comes on, and I pretty much guarantee I won't see him for the rest of the game. Nelson, for me, he's the only one I think stands a chance under this system. Smith Rowe, I think's gone. Yeah. Eddie's gone. Nelson is the only one I think maybe you could be that rotation or like I don't want to say the word backup, but he's going to be technically a backup winger for when we need him because he is he's dangerous sometimes. And I like that about him. And I don't know why we didn't bring him on, because the only thing that I don't think we utilised yesterday was taking advantage of Pepe's age. I'm not being horrible because we're all above 40, but a bit of pace against Pepe constantly for 10 minutes, he would have been puffing at some point.
Oh gosh, yeah. I think it was the ball went off, or I think one of their players was down, but Pepe was literally hands on knees kind of thing, trying to. Do you know what I mean? I just think, run at this dude, man. Come on, man. It's like this is the young man's game, and we got a 41-year-old. Orchestrating shit. I'm like,
and that's what I would have chosen. I would have maybe brought on Smith Rowe as well, just because again he can do that. He can run at players, and he aim him towards Pepe. Now, not saying Smith Rowe would have scored against him, but Pepe possibly could have got a yellow or a red because he's very hot tempered. So yeah, I'm gonna go more with Canners with the 7. I just think he could have done better with the subs, but he did a good job. And we're through, and we'll see what happens in the next round, and we'll see who we get on Friday as well. That's the next big one. Who do you both want? Obviously, they might differ. So, Canners, who do you want?
I would say PSV, but. They've played, I don't know, PSV or Dortmund, I think. But then
they're playing tonight, aren't they? I think.
Yeah. But we might have the same scenario as we just had, where low block.
I'll be honest. I think Porto are better than PSV, though.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, we killed PSV, and even even at their ground, we played with a second string team and still came away with something. They were throwing everything at us. Yeah, PSV, I guess. I don't want. You know what? I'd be comfortable with anyone, but as you said, Real Madrid. I just don't want Man City yet.
You want to wait to that for the final?
I want to wait, even if it's the semis, whatever. But let us get through to the semis. But I just want then. Do you know what? This team I think, will start believing and thinking, actually, do you know what? We can actually do this. I have no fear of Bayern Munich. I have no fear of Barcelona, because Barcelona now are not playing at the new Camp Nou. Atletico Madrid, only because of the Simeone factor. Inter Milan, they might be decent, but I think they'll play into our hands in the sense that they'll leave space for us. To expose. But listen, no matter what, it's going to be a beautiful tie for us, man, and something that we haven't experienced for a long time. That kind of sense of trepidation on our part, like, oh my God, we're coming up a really good team. We deserve to be here. We've got a chance to do this, and I'm just really, 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 really looking forward to that. I just hope when we go into the, at least the first leg, whoever we're playing, we're in the type of form that we know that we can be in. Because I was a bit worried, really, when this first leg was coming up against Porto, because before that, when it was all done, like in December time, we wasn't playing great. Before that, we was thinking, we're going to smash it, forget Porto, whoever, we're going to smash whoever we play. Then it was a bit like, ugh. But yeah.
What about you, Bren?
Do you know what? If we face whoever we face in the quarters, not afraid of any of them. But I echo what Ken has said. I would say PSV as well, and the reason being, well, we know we can beat them. Shown that already, but then getting to the semi-finals, it's that's where you do start to believe, the players start to believe, managers start to believe, and anything can happen in the semis. And also, I think what's key as well is because with the Porto first leg, I mean, we thought we held out for a 0-0, and well, look what happened. But we've been defending so well in recent weeks.
Yeah,
we look, and that is key. That is key to get into a Champions League final as well. Is how solid we are at the back. because we know we can score goals.
Yeah.
You know, we know we can score goals, and I don't. And you know what I mean. And if we're gonna have to be a little bit boring in order to get to the final, and so be it.
Yeah.
Do you know who I'd really actually? I just thought about this, right? Because all right, I know it's probably the worst kept secret. I know Mbappe wants to go to Real Madrid. However, he hasn't signed yet, right? Could you imagine us playing PSV and absolutely tonking them, and then he has a change of heart? Just said, do you know what? Me and that team, why not?
Well, I can guarantee you nothing's been signed with Real Madrid yet.
I said, I don't know.
Mummy Mbappe is doing a very, very good job with that situation. That's all I'm going to say. I see where you're coming from. Look, I will be shocked if he doesn't sign for Real Madrid, but he hasn't yet. So who knows? Anything could happen. Real Madrid could go bust next week. You never know. And literally, Mbappe would have to sign for someone because he's not going to stay at PSG. So, yeah, we'll wait and see. But yeah, I kind of get that. You imagine Henry as well, because Henry will obviously be at the Emirates for the home leg for that tie, speaking to Mbappe. Could be interesting.
Apparently, Foden was at the game yesterday in one of the boxes.
Yeah, it was.
Very weird.
Well, our game.
Yeah.
Very weird. Very.
He wasn't bizarre.
What was he doing?
Anyway, sorry, I know I digress and kind of.
No, that was weird. I'll have to see if I can find out about that.
He was, he was with. I saw a photo of him with one of the Arsenal fans. I met him a couple of times. Lovely guy, Kelechi.
Yeah, because my brother was in a box with Kelechi and Foden was there, and there's a few others. Yeah.
Okay.
Very weird.
Okay.
Very weird. Not saying we're signing Foden, by the way, everyone. Okay.
No. I can guarantee that's not happening.
It's really weird. Who's he? I have no idea who. Why?
Unless he's friends with Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, maybe.
Yeah, I know Foden is
Could
very
be that.
friends with Declan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? Do you reckon if we kept our receipt, we could return Zinni to City? I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. Well, you never know. Any Aluko with a nonsense said, "That's a pet."
Yeah, remember that.
Yeah, some people do talk. Big up to Errol. Hope you're doing well, Errol. Eddie being pettier. Steve is on one tonight, it's tonight for him.
Tonight for him, yeah.
Barcelona, Dortmund, or PSV you would want. I'm in the mentality of getting a big boy early and maybe get easier tie in the final. Honestly, you can beat anyone, lads. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. Champions League's so wide open at the moment, 100%. I said Paris Saint-Germain start the season due to City ending their curse and Mbappe leaving to want to leave on a high. I ain't convinced by my prediction, but I'm still by like it. I'll be honest, PSG are not doing very well in the league. I know they're top and all that, but they're not tearing away with it. I think they drew at the weekend against. I'm pretty sure they drew with Ream, and that just tells you everything. They drew with Ream, so yeah, they're not brilliant. My dad and I, obviously Liverpool fans, we both said we want Arsenal versus City final. Keep them both in. Steve's back on this again. Let's go Donnarumma and Hakimi first.
What's Donnarumma like with his feet? He's not all that though, is he?
He's all right, to be fair. He's comfortable enough where it would be.
Raya was pinging some passes yesterday.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
He was doing very well with his feet.
Strikes the ball so clean.
Yeah.
Mbappe doing a lead in every season.
I'm staying.
I guarantee he's definitely leaving this summer. 100% guarantee he's leaving. It's all done. What a lot of people will be looking at to see exactly how much PSG receive. Yes, receive for a free transfer. It's sickening. Bosman. I don't know. I hate it. I really do. From what I've heard, it's meant to be from the Mbappe camp as well, not from the team that's buying him. It's from the Mbappe camp. Will be giving PSG money.
The Mbappe camp will get the money from the team that's buying them, probably.
Probably. It's going to be monitored because what we've heard in the media and obviously in the circles that a lot of people are in, it sounds dodgy because the whole point of free transfers was to allow the player a choice to do what he wants to do. That's the whole reason that rule came into place. Because I can't remember, it was what's his name? Was it the Belgian, wasn't it? Was it John Bosman? John Bosman.
Jean-Marc, yeah, Jean-Marc.
Jean-Marc Bosman, yeah.
It was him that created it, and for obvious reasons we all know about back then. But free transfer should be a free transfer. Simple as that. There should be no money involved.
Because once your contract's finished, in any other industry in the world, if you're working on a contract, let's say even a week contract, and after that week that contract's finished, the company don't have to pay you.
No, they don't.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
And you can do anything, can go anywhere you want.
Yeah, 100%.
Football.
Steve's saying he's good with his feet.
Donnarumma.
Donnarumma, yeah. Real Madrid ran by their government, not getting involved in that, Chris. Free transfer fee. What? Yeah, I know. Honestly, mate, it's horrendous. I hate it. And a caramels.
They're not bad, by the way.
Isn't it both?
Right.
Yeah.
So, did you give me your team, Brent? Who you want?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Well, I was busy this morning, so that's why I came on late. And yeah.
So, who do you want drawn on Friday? Who do you want us to be picked with?
Oh, if they win tonight, I don't think they will though. I mean, I think they're away. I'd say I'll take PSV again. It was PSV. I'll take them.
But you any Man City get PSV?
Oh, they probably will. Yeah. They
So
probably
you both
will.
want my German team to get knocked out, basically, is what you're saying. Yeah.
Yes.
For the greater good.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I know Dortmund have been inconsistent this season, haven't they? Dortmund, they've been very inconsistent.
They have. Yeah, it's not been a great season for Dortmund. Yeah,
you know what I mean. But also, I want us to beat a stat. There is a stat that you guys probably know about, and if we were to face City at any time, we have never beaten an English side in European football.
Ugh.
Never.
Okay, we want the City to kind of get knocked out then.
Yeah.
City,
you know what? I don't rule them getting knocked out because they're not the City of last season at all.
They're not.
And they've got Edison for a couple of months, a few weeks.
Yeah. Mainly against us, which is why Kai is important now because that Ortega, I have to be honest, I don't rate him. Didn't like him in Germany. It's a bit of a dodgy number two, if I'm being honest.
Just a question. I know it's a bit of a sidetrack, but with us getting rid of, what is our homegrown player status like?
I knew. Yeah. Okay. So we are scouting English talent as well. So we will replace with whoever we sell. We will replace.
If we sell ESR and then Ketia, that's two players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The young lad from Dortmund, 19-year-old.
Gittins, is it? But beyond.
That is one we're scouting at the moment. So he would be our winger signing, which I know a lot of people go, seriously? But
I like
he's
him.
19. He's 19. He's young. He reminds me a little bit of Koziev. When I see Koziev and I see him, they remind me they've got the dirty winger status. I like it. So yeah, we will replace, and our centre back possibly could be an English person that comes in as well. So we will. Oh, Mark Gay, you want about? I don't rule out Branthwaite at the moment either.
Ooh, yeah, he's a good player.
I don't roll him out because we have scouted him constantly.
Because they're both left-footed as well, isn't they?
And we have gathered data on him. So as soon as we've gathered data on someone, I know that we're very keen on him. So yeah. So depending on how many leave, we will replace them with English or promote as well. Obviously, we've got Lewis Kelly. I think Lewis Kelly will take El Neni's place in the squad.
Right.
So he's basically, he was never seen, was he, El Neni, to be fair. And Lewis Kelly will probably take his place. So there's an extra English player already in the squad. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting summer. I'm looking forward to it. I think some Arsenal fans will be quite shocked with what happens. Because I'm definitely excited. I won't get enough rest, but yeah, I'm definitely up for it now. It's going to be exciting Because I think next season is when we need to push for all 4 trophies. There's no excuses for me next season. All 4 trophies. Not saying we must win them, by the way, because I know a lot of people think,
you compete. You know, we want to challenge.
Exactly. Man City will get super restless. I'll be honest. I think there's some teams that could beat Man City in the Champions League. I think we're one of them. If I'm honest, I think we could hurt them.
For me, City looked stronger last season than they did this season.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I sound mental because I'm not scared of Bayern Munich, but I think Man City could be and should be. I think Bayern Munich could hurt them because Harry Kane, he will love playing against City. Absolutely love it. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. What's this? Pay that money for Brantford. Yeah, I know. Carlisle will benefit hugely from the sale of Brantford due to the fact.
What, on profit or just on the actual fee?
It's on the fee. So it's sell on board.
Wow.
So yeah, they will make the quadruple is on. I've never. Did I say that? Did I say that? I said I want to compete. I want to compete for all 4 trophies. And that's
all
how
you
I
want,
look at it.
right? That's all you want.
As Arsenal fans and any football fans, when you support your team, you want us to at least compete. And that's even if you're Crystal Palace. You want to get that Crystal Palace to do as much as you know that they possibly can. And I'm going to talk with you two about this. David Moyes. Right, it's doing my head in because all I hear is David Moyes should be out. They're 7th, right? Above Newcastle. Why would
above Chelsea?
Well, that's just a Monopoly FC. So, what do you expect out of West Ham? I'll come to you last, Brenny, because I know your dad's West Ham fan. Canners, they're 7th. Where do you see West Ham actually achieving? Because I think that's pretty much the top where they can get to.
They're doing what they're doing. They're still in Europe, right? As you said, they're 7th. I mean, come on, look. I know there are some teams that are punching above their weight, and there's some teams that are actually doing worse than what they should be. So obviously you've got your Villa and Tottenham. You would probably say, and it's no dig at Tottenham because actually I think they're doing really well, but they're doing a bit better than what they really should be doing. Because then you look at the likes of Man United and Chelsea, they're not performing as the way that they should be. Now you've got West Ham in that mix, right? And obviously Newcastle as well. They've collapsed this season. They should be doing a lot better than what they're doing. Come on, man. I'm really kind of I feel sorry for Moyes, if I'm being honest.
I do. I don't get it.
I mean, listen, the game against us was a complete anomaly. We was just on it that day. 6-0. Listen, you take that away and everything. Fair enough. Everybody has a few bad results and everything, but you're still in Europe and you're still 7th and competing to actually qualify for Europe again. I don't know what else or what more they want their club to be doing against we can reel off 6 teams that should be better than them, should be doing better than them. You got us, Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, Newcastle, Man United, Tottenham, Villa. I've just reeled off 8, and they're 7th. Do you know what I mean? It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, I just find some fans just sometimes just crazy because I don't get it. Brenny, obviously, me and you have got a lot of West Ham fans in our family, so I wanted your opinion on this as well because I'm losing my head on it. To be honest, I don't get it. What do you expect from West Ham? Like, any more than what they're doing right now?
I think really with the squad that they've got, I personally think that they could, with a few additions and some, I think they could do more. I think they could do more, and basically, I think it's what it is. It's just that what frustrates my dad and even Tabs as well with Moyes. It's like sometimes it just don't. It's like he's basically got them locked up and doesn't always let certain players do what they want to do, with the exception of maybe Jared Bowen, and you know what I mean. And Dad thinks that with what they got now, he thinks that they've got a squad now that with a few additions, could go to the next level. But he doesn't think David Moyes is the man. He thinks he actually thinks he said he's done well, but he's taken West Ham as far as they can go, even though they're still in Europe. You know what I mean? And but he just feel maybe get a top class manager in, and Tabs is the same. He wants to see a top class manager in at West Ham, but right now you can't argue how well they're doing. And Moyes as well isn't a bad tactician either.
No, I agree, mate. So I just wanted your opinion on it. It's crazy, I think.
Yeah,
I think they tried to get the top class manager.
They did have one. I don't know why they didn't give him enough time in Pellegrini, because Dad was a big Pellegrini fan. Oh, he was not happy when he left. He was not happy.
But the thing is like they're doing amazing with the squad that they've got. You take Ward-Prowse, Bowen. Who's the centre midfielder? The centre back is it? Oh God, is it Alfred? I can't remember his name. They've got a centre back there. We're playing with.
Is it the Tunisian dude?
Yeah.
You take those players out, and for any kind of length of time due to suspension or injury, they've got a problem. And listen, do you know what I mean? If those players come up on the market tomorrow, they're going for big money.
Yeah,
big money, big serious money. So I think he's doing a sterling job, to be fair. I just think, sometimes you've got to know your lane. I mean, the teams that are wheeled off there, do you know what I mean? They're serious teams with serious more resources. All of them have got serious more resources. And I still think they're punching above their weight, West Ham, and doing it well.
Yeah, I agree. Right, before we wrap it up, let's go through the comments. But saying that, the sell-on money needs to go to a new manager, not the Ripper brothers, Simpson Abbott. So he's on about the Brentford money. He's not happy with his manager at the moment. Looks like they're going to get relegated to League Two. So, yeah, I see where Chris is coming from there. West Ham still don't need help with the doctors. David Moyes out, seriously. Yeah, honestly, obviously I work with West Ham as well. It's not what they feel, but the fan base, they're kind of losing their heads with it, if I'll be honest. I don't get it. What's the exactly for me, fighting to get into Europe is what I would expect from West Ham, and that's kind of what they're doing. So I don't see what else. I don't care. It's my opinion. Lee got it. Well, Lee. Yeah, I'm not getting into that because I saw something that he said about one of our penalty takers last night. I didn't like it at all. Anyway, Pellegrini was very lucky to win the league with City. I might add, Liverpool bottled it that year. Moyes is doing a job like he did at Everton, punching above weight. Yeah,
they did well.
He's probably getting close to the retirement age. Let's be honest. But what else can you do? They're never going to get a top class manager in. They're not going to get an Amorim from Lisbon. They're not going to get a Tuchel or anyone like that. They are.
Do you remember with Moisey when he got Everton a Champions League spot, and it was a two-legged tie, wasn't it? Which they lost because that would have got them through the Champions League proper, and that's the only time he's ever got near the Champions League, and it was like, ooh, that was like, well, he does well with what he has. The Man United job, even the United fans said that he should have had more time.
Yeah.
As well, and he should have had more time, United. But that 2013, 2014, it was funny though. I can't lie. I'm still laughing now.
West Ham fans probably playing FIFA on easy level, winning everything. Yeah, with that cheat code where you can give them £1 billion or whatever it is. Yeah. My PB. Thank you for coming on, mate. Where can they find you?
Welcome, man. Well, you can find me here on the Armory, of course. And thank you again. Like, share, subscribe. Thanks everyone in the chat. Thanks for the support for this wonderful channel. Some great people on here, some legends on here, and you can also find me on X and Instagram as well.
Thank you very much. And here is one of the legends himself, the beautiful Canners.
Not too kind. With a few more wrinkles, I tell you, from last night. I tell you, if I had hair, it would be grey right now. No, you can find me here on the Armory TV, hoping to do more content. I seem to say that every time I come on. But yeah, no, 100%. We're coming now to the business end of the season, and it's just beautiful. It's great sharing it with all you guys, the viewers, and listening and reading your comments and stuff. And obviously with Bobby, Brenny, Damos, etc. Everyone, I can't name everyone, but it's just great. It's just a lovely family here at the Armory TV. Obviously, as well on X, you can find me, as you can see, at Canners2204. But yeah, it's a beautiful time to be a gunner.
It is
indeed.
Take care, lads. Great show as always. Thank you, Chris. Thank you always supporting.
Cheers, Chris.
Let both of us take City down 100%. Regarding me, I will be back on Friday night. I'm doing the Chelsea Arsenal game that is at Stamford Bridge for the WSL, a must-win game. Then I'm
big game. Big game.
Yeah, massive.
I'm heading over to the dark side, which is the Tottenham channel on Saturday, to do the Fulham Tottenham game. Sunday, I'm doing the FA Cup game between United and Liverpool. So that's a busy weekend for me. And then the following weekend, there will be a special show. I'm trying to organise it at the moment. I'm trying to get 2 City and 2 Liverpool fans. Actually, Chris, I might try and see if I can get hold of you. Actually, I just realised because you're a Liverpool fan. Because I was thinking Carlisle first. I'll try and speak to you in a minute, Chris. But yeah, I want to try and get 2 Liverpool fans, 2 City fans, 2 Arsenal fans, because I will be neutral. Regarding predictions for the rest of it's 10 games left.
I can't do this game.
We did it last season, didn't we? We did it last season. We did it all with Arsenal fans.
Bobby, I've messaged 2 fans, Bobby, for City that I know. Yeah, they haven't got back to me yet. But
you found some?
No, I know. No, a good friend of mine. He's funny enough, doesn't live too far from you, Canners. He's been a City fan all his life. His granddad's from Manchester, and he used to go Main Road when he was a kid. And another friend of mine, he is from Manchester. He's City till he dies. So they haven't got back to me yet, but I'll keep you up to date with that.
Thank you, mate. Yeah, because I want to see, because I've got a feeling how I know they'll be. All pro Liverpool, pro City, pro Arsenal. That's how I think it will be. But I just want us to all just have a prediction and see how we all think it might end at the end of the season. I'll be honest. I think it's probably one of the best title battles I've seen for a while. Yeah, I'm enjoying it so far, and I'm glad we're still in it. I want to be in it until at least the last 2 games. That's how I look at it. And this is why I was quite shocked when Brady says his message to, because I'll be honest, I didn't know we had it in the UK. I know I'm going to get in trouble for that, but I didn't know we had it in the UK, to be fair. I'm going to get in so much trouble for that, but never mind. I'll deal with that later. But yeah, if available, I'll message you, mate, because I know I've got you on Instagram, so I'll message you. I'll see if I can get you on. But if not, I can do another way of doing it with you anyway. Finding a Man City fan is like finding Willy Wonka golden ticket.
100%.
I love it. Anyway, enough Man City attacking. Before I get in loads of trouble. I shall see you all very soon. Take care. And yeah, I'll be back
all the best
with Arsenal.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Take care.